Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about delivery and shipping process. We all know that there's so many packages going in the system that sometimes it gets a little longer and it's out of our control. Sometimes they give an estimate, but that estimate of time, delivery time, doesn't actually means that everything on the planet from my home, my shop to your home will necessarily be perfect. Could be tornadoes, could be earthquake, could be snowstorms, could be truck in the ditch. Name them all. Everything can happen, and I hope that everyone understands. It's super frustrating when a package, a parcel says it's going to be delivered today. So you're waiting and it's not there. It's really frustrating, but please know that this is out of my control. It happens to me when I order my own stuff. So please be patient. And if really it takes like 2-3 weeks and nothing moves, then there's a problem and you can contact me. But I always hope that the things arrive to you in good condition. And here's an example. I tested them. So this is a pair of mitts that is 100% symmetrical, in super great shape, brand new, and there's no differences between. This one have never been shipped. What I noticed on this one that I shipped, and it came back to my house because I shipped it from somewhere else and shipped it to my own house. See what it happens. So they were 100% symmetrical, like these. You can see, oop, there's something wrong with these. They don't look right. Obviously, what I can see is that I should have kept the part of the package, but clearly something has been crushed here for a very long period of time. I don't know what happened, and they've been tossed and really badly handled in the shipping process. So when I receive them, I see a difference. So if it happens, as long as there are no tears or anything damaged to it, including the clips, including everything. So this one is a little bit bent up, but this is just a label, so it's not a big deal. It's not important. But nothing else seems to be damaged. It's just, it seems like, I don't know what they did, if they put a piano on top of it or any boxes that are super heavy. I don't blame you, the peoples from delivery system. I understand how busy you can be, but it's just a reality that sometimes things gets damaged more than we actually think. So if it happens to you, what I suggest is first find the good side. So the buckle should always be on top of your hand, and they could be inverted. I mean, this one can go this way if you have different bondage scenes, or if you want to adjust these to different bondage devices, or if you want just to use that very basic carabiner, you can just link them together at the front or the back, so they need to be worn like this. So I see that something is like too much padding here, and okay, just play with it. I mean, until you find the perfect spots. Like, there's something wrong here, so I don't know what happened, because everything is inspected before. So just make sure that, and you move your hands inside until you find material to set back where it's supposed to be. And here on top, it should be even. So I see that here might have some crushing material, So just try to move it like this, and you see it's getting back to its original shape. But what I suggest is every types of padding material that has been crushed for several days, perhaps weeks, uh, it needs time to set back to its original puffiness. So just play with it so air gets in it and you find the perfect fit. And if you feel something wrong, just pull up, pull down, and now they fit great. And of course you have these types of locking buckles that has to be adjusted first before you buckle it. And preferably these ones are made for little ones who have mommy, daddy that will lock them for you. So this way they will make sure that everything is not super funny because I'm wearing actually upside down. Like this, there you go. So the buckle is always on top. So I keep repeating it, but even myself, I don't pay attention enough and it just doesn't, it doesn't work. So mommy or daddy or your friend or your master is going to make sure that the material is tucked properly, so the material here doesn't get stuck when you're going to try to buckle it, because it's supposed to fit for you. Sadly today I'm alone to make that video, so it's hard to have someone to help me, assist me. So see, I got it, but you're gonna have the material getting stuck in it if you do self bondage or whatever you're doing. So just make sure it clips on both sides. It's still stuck, so just make sure that it's moving freely like this. That means nothing is stuck in it, and you're in your mitt. Number one. Bigger challenge if you're trying to do some bondage alone is to put the second mitt alone. That is hell of a challenge. And especially be careful, because these ones really auto locks for real. So if you manage to put yourself into bondage, self bondage, and you have nobody to get you out and have the key positioned properly, you might have odd situation to explain to someone at some point to get you out. So you need the key to get out of these magnetic ones. But if you try to put your hand locked and you try to pick the key, here it's barely gonna work, barely. I'm super forcing bad. But the situation here is when you're gonna try, on your other hand, to put it like this, the chances that you're going to drop the key or just not make it right is super easy. But there's some great escape artists, and you don't necessarily need to be an escape artist to fully enjoy to be in locking gears. But remember to always play safe, and since these are not suspension devices, I definitely don't recommend people's who will use these D-rings and attach them to the sailing or any structure to be used as a suspension device. They're not made for these. This is fancy material. It's strong because it's 6 layers, 3 on each side. But the fact remains that this material is not made to support the full weight of an adult. So not a good idea, and not responsible for this. And there's a notice on the website about what to do, what not to do, what are the care instructions for these mitts. And actually these ones, you can order an extra magnetic key if you want, and you order. And if you happen to lose that key for some what reason, the beauty of the thing is that if you happen to have a Segafix, it works. It's just that this magnet is super strong, much stronger than these, because the locking pins are much bigger, of course. So they need, of course, a bigger magnet to work like this. This, I believe, it's way overkill to be put on a simple mitt like this. So I didn't want to go with something that huge for mitts, and I wanted to go with my own version. But if you happen to lose that key that is quite strong and you're stuck in it, you can use any magnet that is about the same size, so you can unbuckle it. And yeah, until you hear that click, you're gonna be able to get out. So if you lose a key, not a big deal, don't panic, it's gonna work. But this type of magnet is made for this type of locking system. So the poles are made to make it work and function properly. So here it clicks great, it unclicks. Don't know if you can see what it looks inside. So this is how it's made. So once you lock it, oops, you somehow you lost the key, you can use this one. Or if you don't have any Segafix, like I said, there's small magnet that you can pile on top of it that will eventually release it. So you try. This one is way too strong, so it's gonna work at some point, but not all the time. But when it's well centered, it will work, and you get out. But you might hear this sound after. Don't know if you hear it. Yeah, it's because the spring has been stretched much harder with these types of keys that are not made for these. This is why it makes that sound. Doesn't mean that it's broken, it's just that it's pretty much like anything that you overuse is not liking it, and eventually it might damage the system. But up to now, it never happened to any of my products. So this is how the keys work. And about the shipping possibilities that these super nice mitts can encounter during the shipping process. Worst case scenario, if you live in an area where there's a theft wave of parcels, please tell us, because it happened to us before that some packages were left on the balcony after the delivery guy dropped it. It was supposed to have a signature, it didn't, and they subcontract in Canada and the United States for keeping the pace and make sure that the packages arrive on a decent amount of time, but they don't necessarily respect the signatures in the way they should be. If you don't want the package to be dropped on your balcony, or if you're living in a busy area, we might opt to leave it to a safe place like the post office, so we don't have bad surprises. Because these, I can make these easily, my team can make these easily, and these are limited editions. If they get lost, I'm not going to be able to find the same material to make the same ones. So we're going to have to find an alternative to ship you something that looks similar. And if you have one of these, for example, this is a limited edition. I only have one like this. I can make new ones. This one, I can reorder material for this one. But if you have something more specific, you asked for, um, I'm gonna say, SpongeBob edition of jumping harness with white buckles and specific type of material. I'm not keeping that in stock. So it means that it's a unique one, and if it gets lost or stolen, um, we might have to think about making a different product if they're out of stock as well. Because these days I'm having trouble with the suppliers anywhere on earth to have the uh, same type of fabric or at a decent price. So if it's 5 times what it's supposed to cost, then I'm not gonna buy it because I'm super happy to make these type of ABDL and bondage special needs gears. But I gotta be realistic, and I got my bills to pay. I got to pay for the material. I got to pay for everything, and the time to make them, and pay the taxes and everything. So it's normal that I make a little bit of profit on these, but not too much because I know how expensive everything is, and I want the more peoples to enjoy, if possible, the gears that I'm making with all love and pride and energy I'm making these. I'm having the chronic fatigue syndrome that is stopping me very often from being productive, and I hate that. But keep my head up, and even if I end up in the hospital, I'm gonna recover. I'm gonna get better, and I'll be back on track. Like, I feel right now a little bit out of breath. We're in June 2024, and it's because after Capcom, most peoples were sick and got with infected with the type A influenza. I got it. In my case, it turned into a pneumonia. It was super hard, super hard, and I can still feel the effects of that, and that really sucks. But I'm still making great gears and products that I hope that you enjoy, and getting better with the videos. I hope. um, so leave a comment, leave a like if you had any um, good or bad experience during the shipping process. We all have our stories to share, and we're going to make everything possible to make things right, and make sure that you're going to enjoy what you purchased, and it's going to last for years. So have a good day and take care.